Hi everyone, I'm Von Kevitz, knit and crochet designer for One of a Kind Makers who dare to be original. It's been a while. Well, it's only been 2 weeks, but I hope that you guys find me and join me. So I'm not chatting with myself, but like I said, I can always do that too. I can always do that too. You know, I always felt insecure and hesitant sometimes, but more and more. He's been quiet, and then the moment I go out live and start talking, he's directly underneath me. He starts the whining and the tears. And then his little brother is gonna get in on it. No, you're not on the camera, silly. I just open with prayer. Oh, Lord, give us open minds and open hearts to accept your will. Thank you for the many gifts that you've given us, me, and thank you for another beautiful hour with my amazing creative friends. God, please watch over and protect. We know that your height is beyond our comprehension. And the struggles that we feel. Where are we going here? Everybody. I just caught to my wire. Well, that never happens. even in the middle of my prayer. Oh, that was Indy. Little brother got out of the big brother's way because, Are we all comfortable now? Can I continue? This is real life, people. Lord, thank you. And may the world feel your love like I feel your love. Amen. Hey, who's here? Thank you for your voice and your message. Oh, Teresa. Let me just start right there. Going down this path and going down this, I never know what I'm doing. Let me just preface everything by that. I never know what I'm doing. I just know when something stirs in me, I have to follow it. And I've spent my life fighting it. And I can't fight it anymore. And so little things happen here and there. And then and I'm always doing scary things. Because I never know. But I do them because God tells me to do them, and I do them. And then I see later on why I do them. Because I'm always lots of steps behind. But let me tell you, this new path that I'm on right now, it's scary stuff. These new revelations and things I'm finding, it's scary stuff. And I'm always hesitant, but then every day, once a day, I lose followers left and right. Let me tell you, I'm losing followers left and right. But every day, God sends me one angel, and shares me with a message like this, like yours, Teresa. Thank you for your voice and your message. And it's just enough. Because then I'm like, because many people come to say like you're so brave and you say things like you're doing hard things and thank you and I want to do the same and I'm working up the courage to do the same, and I'm like, believe me, you messaging me, your courage to message me, to reach out to a random stranger on the internet to say thank you, you have no idea what power, you have no idea what power that is that you have done. You know what I mean? Because it keeps me going. And when you do that to anybody else, when you extend a little bit of gratitude or kindness or love to anybody else, like you have no idea what the immense power is. You know what I mean? Of that reaction, of that chain reaction. So thank you, Teresa. I value it so greatly. I'm not sure if you just follow me on YouTube or if you're actually following me on Instagram, Teresa, but only because Teresa's joining me. If you guys are joining me, say hi to me. So I'm not just talking to Teresa all morning long, but I would be happy to. And hopefully she's still here. I do all my live, like all my engagement is on Instagram. I've even backed off of Facebook for a bit. I still have the Facebook Dare to Be Original Facebook group that when I create again, I will be more than happy to, like, I look forward to the days that I create again so that I can share more into the Dare to Be Original Facebook group. But I always feel like the things I'm talking about is not appropriate for that forum, and it should be. It absolutely should be. But I feel like those people didn't sign up for it. But if you're signing up for following me on Instagram, you're pretty much signing up for me. And a lot of people didn't sign up for this version of me right now. The truth and honest me, the real and raw, authentic me. I've always been that way, but I didn't always talk about the things that were hard. And I always steered away from it because I was always trying to please everybody. I was always trying to keep everything, I don't know, universal, I guess we would say, or general. But at the time, I loved knitting. I love crocheting. I love making. So that was what I was obsessed with. Today, I have a new obsession. And so I created a shop name so that I can separate my knitting obsession. And then if anybody that doesn't want to follow the new obsession of mine can go to that, page and follow that, because that's still an obsession. I'm waiting for that to come back to me at some point, and I feel like I'm very close to it. But I'm not quite done just yet because God doesn't want me to be finished with this quite yet. And I don't think I will ever be finished with this quite yet because this new world, this new eye-opening revelation is my life's mission. It is my life's mission because I'm not here for this world. I'm here for the afterlife. This world is temporary for me. I'm here for eternity with my best friend, Jesus. So, Lori, it is good the ones that laughed. They are blinded right now and would drag you down. Hopefully they will see and come back. Amen. You're right, Lori. You're absolutely right about that. And yes, I follow you on Instagram as well. Oh, great. So then you really are talking about that voice of mine. That reassures me, because so yesterday, so many things have happened in the past 2 weeks. Listen, the wedding was gorgeous. The wedding was magical. And then last week, I had to go get blood work and all that stuff. So it was like last minute, and then it just threw everything off. And then puppy life and 4 dogs, and my one Saturday, after the wedding of all that. So I was just like, I'm just gonna take a break, just one break. And then this week I got back in it. I'm back in it, but I've been I've been working really hard behind the scenes, not for my financial VK Dare to Be Original, but for this new work that seems to be up and out. So 2 posts that I want to talk about. Actually, there's 3 Instagram posts that I want to talk about. I just want to read them real quick so we know where we're at here. I had 3 posts that I shared this week. Hate the sin, but love the human. Hate the sin, but love the human. I was washing the dishes, and that's what God said to me. Hate the sin, but love the human. Because I have been struggling a lot with this since traveling down the rabbit hole of evil of human trafficking. This month of looking at just how evil humans can treat one another, worse yet to the helpless children and infants. I can't wrap my head and heart around it. It's paralyzing to wake up and see the reality. So many people, so many famous people, so many random strangers, so many lost humans, and even scarier, so many determined humans serving the evil deeds and doers. All I can do is pray. All we can do is pray. Pray, not hide. Pray, not ignore. Pray, not pretend. Pray, not forget. Pray, not hate. Because hate breeds evil. Love is the cure of all this evil. Start today by hating the sin, but love the human. This message came to me in the height of my wrath, in the height of my vengeance, in the height of my hatred for how evil humans can be to one another. When I make one vote to be pro-life and save unborn babies from being murdered by their own mother, I thought that's the level of evil that we're dealing with. I thought that's the level of evil we're dealing with. And I always say, if we can't value life at every stage, we will always struggle to value life at any stage. As humans, we will always struggle. I swear, I think he knows how sad I am sometimes. So I get the courage, and I know we have to fight for the voiceless, right? I had no idea just how evil humans can be. Just how evil. The level of sin that we can do, the level of hurt that we can do to one another is crippling. And then to do them to children, innocent, helpless children. Under all ages, minors to under in the single digits to less than 1-year-olds. I can't sleep anymore. God has flipped the light switch on for me. Jesus has flipped the light switch on, and I can't pretend to sit in darkness anymore. I can't pretend to sit in darkness anymore. So I brave up and I see just how evil we humans can treat one another. And it's horrific. If as adults we are if as adults we are getting deceived, what chance do our children have against evil? Satan never sleeps. We keep hearing this line, but it is so true. I always hear it growing up. Satan never sleeps. He is relentless. We have to be too. We have to be relentless in choosing Jesus Christ every day, every minute, every second. We have to love Jesus and share him, especially with our youth. This past week, I don't know why they don't talk about this on the news. I don't know why, because we all know mainstream media is fake. It's fake. It is television. Television is literally in that frame. They tell you what they want you to see. They tell you the vision. They tell you what they want you to see. So whoever's controlling media, that's who's controlling what you should see. And we know what they want you to see. It's well aware, right? But they don't show you the truth. There are these dolls, these little dolls marketed to little girls, these little dolls, you know, with these makeup eyes and makeup clothes so they can be famous singers and actors and actresses, little tiny dolls that they buy, and parents are buying them for their kids left and right. Children are playing with them left and right. And now there's all these little Instagram videos proving what these dolls are actually do. And nobody ever knew. It was never marketed to them. It was never claimed on the boxes. Parents had no idea these were on these little dolls. When you soak them in cold water, these naked little dolls, these naked little girls are in pornographic lingerie, fishnets, devil's tails, pizza tattoos. You shine like one of those UV lights on them and you could see that, but it's not there to the human eye. It's not there to the naked eye. You have to actually figure that out. Who is doing that? Satan is everywhere. He's everywhere trying to take control of our minds, of our hearts, of our sight, of our sounds, everywhere. How did it work out for the dress? Did you reach your goal? Yes. The dress zipped up. Last minute, the dress zipped up. Do you believe some of these evil people have turned? Actually, I want to just come back real quick. The dress zipped up, and I think it did for a while when I did lose my weight. But what I was doing was I never zipped it. I would reach my max, so I just assumed that it still was too tight. And then I ended up adding extenders to it. And then because I couldn't even get the extenders on, I asked John to do it, and he closed it tight, and then he zipped it up. I'm like, with the extenders inside complete. So I had to take the extenders off, and it turned out it zipped up the entire time. But it was me that couldn't reach it. So I just assumed it was too tight. So I had actually, for a while, fit into that dress. Do you believe some of these evil people have been turned over to reprobate mind? I don't know what reprobate mind is. Those things are called LOL dolls. Is that what they are? Okay. Yes, LOL dolls. If you bought them for your children, go try the experiment out, and if you're okay with your children playing with secret sexy lingerie and devil's tails and pizza tattoos, I'm going to say pizza tattoos. You can look up that yourself and find out what all that's about. Dip them in ice water, it shows up. Yes, dip them in ice water. And then one lady had some kind of an infrared flashlight that showed it too. So maybe it has to do with heat and temperature sensitivity. Lori, do you believe some of the evil people have been turned over to a reprobate mind. What does that question mean? Can you? Oh, okay, here. Reprobate mind is where they are to the point of no return. They are walking dead. Oh, this is a great one. I do want to hang out on this one for a while. So I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to go back to my last post that I posted last night. This is all about God giving us free will and Satan doing everything to mind control us out of free will. When I started down the rabbit hole and saw how evil, and just to learn what adrenochrome was, just to learn the depth of evil, and it is evil. It is about as horrific as you can get, and worse, because it's children under 1 year old. Under 1 year old. That's the number I stick with, because they are the helpless. They are the most helpless. So that's where my heart can't escape. The evils that they are doing to the less than 1 year old. I couldn't fathom it. And then the distractions, the illusions, addictions, fears, complacency. I wondered what Satan's obsession with controlling our mind is all about. Then it hit me in prayer. God gave us free will, free to choose, free to live, free to love, free to make, free to change, free to stop, free to grow, free to begin, free to end, free to continue. The enemy knows that if we choose to wake up from our trance, then his power over us, then we will be free from him. So he will lie, cheat, steal, and kill to keep us from taking back our God-given free will. Choose better, sweet friends. The power is all yours. Everything kept coming back to mind control. Everything kept, and I'm like, that's how Satan has me with my addictions. That's how Satan controls me with my illusions and distractions and complacency and fear. Fear. We know that's his number one weapon. Fear is not from God. It's not a spirit from God. God did not give us the spirit of fear. That is placed on us by the enemy to keep us from doing things. You know? And I have spent the majority of my life battling fear, paralyzed fear to do things that I know God wants me to do good things that I know my body fights to do, but fear stops me. Why is that, right? And I've been working so hard on that. That's all you see me ever talk about is go battle your fears, right? So why is Satan doing all this? And I'm like, it is all about free will. He can't stop God's free will. So he will always keep us distracted, always keep us addicted, always keep us afraid to choose better. I came across a beautiful soul just at the height of my paralyzation, where I had seen the worst images of what can happen, what these look like. People think all this is fake and conspiracy because the media, mainstream media isn't showing it to you. So they think it's not real. Well, it is very real because the proof is all there. It's very real. The proof is all there. All the stars, all your movie stars, tell you they're worshiping Satan. They tell you we worship the devil. They tell you they sold their soul for the riches of the world. They tell you all that. And here we blindly follow them, wanting to be like the gods here on earth. And then some of them even tell you they're Christian. Taylor Swift, she says she's Christian, but she says every Christian would choose the right to abort your own baby. What kind of Christian calls murdering your child a choice? When you murder a dog, that's animal cruelty. But when you murder your own child, that's called a choice. That's Satan. That's Satan's lie. She's not a Christian. She's her you can see all the proof that who she worships, and it's not God. It's not Jesus. So in my research that morning, I saw the most horrible pictures, real images, real, of what, when they rescue these child pornographic hubs, like where they're being imprisoned in the conditions that they're in. It's so horrific. You can't fathom, how can a human being do this to an innocent child? And so I wanted wrath. I wanted vengeance. And then I came across that night a live that Jada Danielle did at Jana Danielle. I shared it in my last live. I think I shared it, the link, and it's in my Instagram stories. I even shared it last night. I love her message because she actually felt pulled out of her church. She was in the middle of church and she felt pulled out to go and give this message to people who are awake like me, who are seeing this evil and want to fight it, and feeling this vengeance, and feeling this wrath, because we want justice. We know how evil this world is, and we want justice, but we want earthly justice. And and we forget that the God that we love, the God that parted the Red Sea, the God that rose from the dead, the God that cured blindness, the God that healed leprosy, the God that reversed death in Lazarus, the God that saved David from a room full of 3 lions, the God that saved those 3 men, I can't think of their names, and I will mess it up, so I won't even attempt it, who walked out of that inferno fire because they refused to bow down to earthly God. That God. We forget what his justice looks like, and his power and his height, because we can't comprehend it. Our poor minds, we can't comprehend the height of our God. And he loves beyond love, and his justice is not our earthly justice. His justice is to turn. He wants them. He wants them. He wants the Clintons. He wants the Podestas. He wants all those souls. He wants all of those souls because he doesn't want to lose them to Satan. And we, the God-loving people, are praying the opposite. We're praying for vengeance. We're praying for wrath for these evil people doing these evil deeds. And we're going against God's will. We're fighting against God. And that message was like, it just hit me so clear. And I was just like, she's right. She's right. As I'm sitting here praying for September 9th in Clinton, September 9th. If you don't know what the heck is going on September 9th, wake up and find out what is going on September 9th. The media is not letting you know what is going on September 9th. They don't want you to know. They hide it. They are terrified of it because September 9th is going to expose something to you that is insane. The level of evil Hillary Clinton is going on trial for. Those deleted emails, those 33,000 deleted emails. Why did she delete them? They are not innocent. Whatever depths of evil you think is in those 33,000 emails that she needs to stand trial for, so we think. I will look that up. Hold on. Hold on. Romans 1:28. Thank you, Lori. I heard that Clinton won her appeal to not testify. Really? Did you hear that? Because I didn't think she did. I thought she lost that. But that just goes to show you the corruption. Are you sure about that? Because I thought I just saw something yesterday that she lost that appeal. But either way, God will correct that. God will correct that. So instead of praying, that's what went back to my hate the sin and love the human. I have two choices in my life to move forward. I speak in first term, just so you know, is because we can't control anybody else. I can't control anybody else. I can only control myself. And I'm barely holding on at that. It takes all the fight in the world for me to just control myself. So I can't control anybody else. I don't have that ability. Nobody does. So I speak a lot in first terms, you know. When I hear the evil now, I'll tell you what gets me through is that's who I'm praying for. Instead of praying for wrath and vengeance and earthly justice for these evil people and these evil deeds. That's what Tom Fitton said. He said they are looking to see if they can appeal. Oh, okay. Well, let's pray for that. I'll double check on that. I'm going to double check on that too. Yeah, so and every time I think I'm going to stop, every time I think I need to step away, I'm just like, I see more evil and I'm like, I have to share it. That's all that I'm called to do right now, is to not run away from it, not pretend, not to hide. I ignored all this 10 years ago. All this was revealed to me 10 years ago, and I wasn't ready. I was afraid. The evil that I heard, I was like, no, I shut it down. I'm like, this cannot be real. This cannot exist. This doesn't affect me. This, you know what I mean? This is not my problem. I've got my own problems I'm dealing with. I've got my own issues. I've got my own drama. And I ignored it. And I pretend it wasn't there. 10 years later, I'm working through fear. I'm working through courage. I'm working through faith. I'm working through habits and rituals and distractions. I've read in the past year how to beat my habits and distractions, and what's controlling my mind, how to take control of my mind, how to be more organized, how to be more calmer, like how to stop this brain from going nonstop and malfunctioning. because I know that's how Satan wins my battles. That's how he wins my battles, because he distracts me, he lies to me, he steals, and he cheats, and he's trying to kill me, and not just physically, but also spiritually, eternally. He's trying to kill me and keep me from God. And and everything I hear, that's all this is. It's all, every battle that we fight with Satan is all about God giving us free will to choose him, to be saved, to choose better, to do better, to love him, to love his neighbors, to love our neighbors, to love his children. If we just loved, that's it. That will cure everything. If we just loved, love the humans that you are, love the humans that you are sitting next to, love the humans that you see in front of you, love the humans that you hear about, that you think about, love the humans. If you just did that, if we just did that, that's it. That covers everything. It covers everything. Because when you love God, you love his children. And when you love his children, you do everything that is good. This is how I am most of the time right now. I just sit in like this silence of, so every day I keep reminding myself that's the big fight, and the big fight can be overwhelming, but I'm just going to keep sharing and shedding light, not for, just to even remind myself, what the bigger game is. And we, yeah, if we just chose love. Did you see the explosion on Beirut in Lebanon? That was interesting. In explosion in Lebanon, and they thought it had something to do. We suspected that it had to do with child trafficking. Again, none of this is through the media. Um, they just call it a regular explosion. But then they found tunnels, and people were reporting on that. But then the mainstream media, even your social media, they're taking down the videos of news reports saying that there's tunnels under there, tunnels under all that seaport. This is just right now. That's why I have to, that's what I have to remember. I'm like, I got to talk about the stuff that's like right now, right? The trial date's coming up. The Beirut tunnels, secret tunnels they were discovering. And why is social media removing those clips? Like, they don't want you to see that. Facebook last week or 2 weeks ago banned the hashtag Save the Children. Why would Facebook ban a hashtag Save the Children? Think about that. These are all things that we know the answers. we we don't want to face them. Why would the biggest social media platform, and I say biggest because Facebook and Instagram own each other, and Instagram is doing the same thing too. Why are they hiding and banning accounts that use Save the Children? The only thing I could think of is they have to be a part of the perpetuating evil. I watched a video from Jacko Boyan. He said, even if we arrested and had human justice against all the elites, all the people that have been in this business of human trafficking for all this time. Even if we took care of all the politicians, all of the movie stars, all of Hollywood, all of royalty, all of the bankers, all of Wall Street, all of the people of power that are running these human trafficking business. It's a business. They found out, Satan found out that the most valuable commodity here on earth is the business of selling humans. And the most valuable of the humans is the youngest, because that human is the weakest. Satan found out that the most valuable commodity here on earth is humans. The most valuable human is the youngest human, because they are the weakest that he can control. If we took care of all the most powerful people that are in the business of selling humans, would that solve our problem of pedophilia? No, it will not. We can arrest them all. We can execute them all. It will not solve the problem, because Satan is in everywhere. It's in homes. It's in middle America. It's in everywhere. Every country. And the US, the Christian nation built upon, right? The US is the number one consumer of child porn. They are the number one consumer. They are the number one buyers of humans. They go to other countries to buy humans because it's easier, and they're doing it here because it's getting easier with the internet, with the internet's help. That's happening right now. We have to start small. And it just hit me. I'm like, you have to start local. You have to start immediate. You have to start in your home. And because I don't have children, I'm just sharing it with all my mother friends online. That's it. That's the only power I have. That's the only control I have. And that's why I share it. That's why I share it on my social media. That's why I'm sitting here talking to you about it. I don't have children. So the only thing I can control is my voice telling all of my mother friends, who have children, to go, to protect your children, to love your children, to watch over them, to watch what they're playing with, to watch what they're watching on TV, to watch what they're using on the phone, because this the device is not evil. What we do with it is. I'll double check now. Let me see. Reporter Millie Weaver was arrested in connection to a report she was going to stream about Benghazi and Clinton's email, according to America Matters. Reporter Millie Weaver was arrested in connection to a report she was going to stream about. Really? I do not know the name Millie Weaver, but everybody needs to figure out what that Benghazi. I think the reason why I'm so shaken up personally, I was just telling Johnny this yesterday. I think the reason why I'm so shaking up right now, why I'm so on fire about this since Wayfair woke me up, was how I continue to stay asleep, how I continue to ignore it. I think that's what's bothering me. All that time I heard about Benghazi, and I was distracted. I didn't care. I heard about Hillary Clinton. I knew Hillary was an evil person. I knew she was doing evil things. And I didn't care to find out. Meanwhile, the children in Hades is the number one trafficking hub. They love the disasters in Hades because they have all the displaced children. And where are they going? To so-called refuge for children, foster, the places that take care of children, so they can gobble them up, turn them around, sell them back out. That is, it's sick. It's unfathomable. But just think about it. That is what it is. That is Satan's number one commodity. Satan's number one commodity is the buying and selling of humans. When you know that principle, guess what? Free will comes into play big time. Free will comes into play big time because the kids who get caught, they can't go, they can't run, they can't voice, they can't fight. And then the adults who can do something about it, we're too busy. We're too busy with our distractions. We are too busy with our own problems. I saw a perfect example of that this week, a video with James Patterson, the famous author of all those books, where he wrote about Epstein. Epstein was his neighbor. If you watch the Epstein special on Netflix, you saw he did the whole thing. He knew who Epstein was. He knew all of his nefarious deeds and everything. And he probably used him as a character in all of his famous books. Well, he's sitting on stage with Bill Clinton. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what Bill Clinton was doing with James Patterson on a book on stage. I don't even know. I definitely saw Bill Clinton. I don't know if I saw James Patterson, but the guy that was referring to him was saying, James Patterson, you know who he is. Why? So there's a man in the audience that said, why are you, Mr. Clinton, why were you on that flight 26 times to Epstein's child pedo island? Why were you on that pedo island 26 times on the flight logs? Why were you there? Pictures of him being on that island. Why were you there 26 times? And everybody was like, no, you can't ask questions. And no, and James Patterson, who was sitting there, I'm like, you did a special talking about this guy. You know exactly what he's doing. And you're sitting on stage with the man that was on that island 26 times, who happens to be married to, all this, child trafficking court case that's coming up September 9th. And they were booting the guy asking that question, that brave man getting up, having the courage to face Satan and calling him out, going, why were you there? What were you doing? What evil deed were you doing on that island, knowing how evil it is? And the people in the audience were telling that guy to shut up. Nobody cares. They actually said, who cares? When the guy's like, I just want to know what he was doing on the island 26 times as he's getting escorted out. And the audience was saying, who cares? And that's when I was just like, that's why the children stay suffering. That's why they stay enslaved. Because the people that have the free will to choose better are saying, who cares? And then the people that Satan took their free will from, for me, I knew evil things were all going on. I had no idea how widespread the corruption, nor how deep. And when we think people should be prosecuted, they instead let go because of corruption. Exactly. Why is Texas the number one human trafficking site right now in in the US. Actually, it might be the number 2 in the world. So is it number 2 to Hades? It was the judges, the prosecutors. They let the criminals go because it's a racket. It's a business. It's a business. That's what this is. And like every business, there's every level. Not everybody knows what all the businesses want. Like, you don't know what the CEO, you don't know what the higher ups, you don't know what the board wants. It's a business. It's a business of buying and selling humans. Meanwhile, Satan distracts us with Black Lives Matter and race war and gender wars and age wars and country wars and political wars. Those are all fake. Those are all delusions of our fights. Those are all delusions and illusions. So we stay complacent or we're busy fighting that when we are ignoring the real fight. Is that Satan found a way to make a business out of buying and selling humans, buying and selling children. And my specialty, my fight, where I have the most at stake, is the ones under 1 year old. They are buying and selling infants under 1 year old and doing horrific things. Because I thought abortion was the horrific thing. I thought back in July, when I did that Ravelry video, I thought that we as a nation were going to be okay with putting a baby on the table. And then the doctor and the mother can have a discussion on the side. Keeping the baby comfortable, of course, was the quote. And the mom and the doctor can discuss in privacy whether they want to abort the baby or not. I thought that level of evil has got to be the bottom line for Satan. That's got to be where he hits his max. That's got to be the hell. No. I'm a year later. I'm a whole year later, and I find out that's not the level. No, there's far worse that can happen to that 1 hour old baby. There's far worse that can happen to that 1 hour old baby. And it kills me. It kills me. I have 4-month-old beagle puppies. That are the cutest things in life. Their innocence, their youth, their joy, they're just, oh my God, their curiosity. They're just bundle of, pain in my arse sometimes. I have so much love for those two tiny little puppies. How can humans not have that for another human? They're not even humans, they're just puppies. How can humans not feel that for a baby? Like I can't wrap my head around this. And all these virus things, yeah, that's definitely. I was just saying to a friend with this mask and vaccines, learn about what the heck is going on with those vaccines, because nobody's going to inject anything in me that I do not allow. I always said when the whole thing came on, when Corona hit in January, it was January, February, right before the shutdown, right at the shutdown, and everybody was in full panic, and we were all like scared. And here I am with no immunity whatsoever. I'm like, I'm terrified. This is a disease that's going to take me. I have no immune system. I have a shut down immune system, and I thought, what am I going to do? How am I going to go work? Like, I was afraid. I was afraid, right? I was the epitome of fear. And everybody kept saying, this is a health epidemic, health epidemic. And I went on because I got the message from God, probably when I was doing the dishes, because Jesus and I chat a lot during the dishes. And I made a video saying that this is not a health epidemic. This is not a health epidemic. This is a fear epidemic. And here we are 8 months later, and more people are afraid. They're so afraid that they would hide their faces. They would increase their health by covering up their face, cutting off their oxygen, taking in their recycled carbon dioxide or monoxide. I'm not sure. I'm not a health person. I'm just a common sense enthusiast. I'm not a health person. I am not a medical doctor. I'm just a common sense enthusiast. I like to say to breathe in toxic air, and then you find the proof of them. There's paperwork with Bill Gates and all that of them predicting this. They planned this whole thing out. They planned this virus out to a T. There was actually even a show in 2003, Dead Zone, where they actually did an episode calling this virus out specifically. They were just one thing short of calling it coronavirus, but the virus and all the symptoms and how it attacked and how it freaked out the entire show, and then hydrochloroquine was the solution. It turned out to be the solution to cure it. And now our current president is getting demonized for bringing that up. Now, when the doctors finally are brave enough to speak out that that drug will cure this pandemic, all the social media platforms shut all those videos down. Why is all the social media platforms deleting and shutting down all the accounts talking that show about the doctor saying that that drug will cure this disease, when that show in 2003 predicted all this? It's all planned out. They all knew it. Everything has always been in front of our faces. We just don't look at it, or we ignore it, or we choose something different. There are laws from 1905 that gives government legal right to force everyone to take a vaccine. No. There are laws to there are laws that says there's a law that says that you can kill your own baby too. That I'm like, no. So that law is the same as this law. If they refuse, they can be jail, fined, or both. I know where my earth is. I know where my heaven is, so be it. I guess that's why I've been working on fear. I guess that's why God and I have been working on fear for so long, is so that when the time comes, I'm ready and I say, so be it. I choose God. I choose Jesus. You know, I choose my free will. And Satan won't win. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I've been working this hard on fear and habits, so that I can wake up from the trance that Satan puts me under. Whew. And here I am. I'm like, what were you going to talk about for an hour, people? What are we going to talk about for an hour? Y'all, thank you for joining. Thank you. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Don't be on this for too long. Get off of it. Go live your life. Go love on your humans. And love God and love each other. Love God and love each other. That's it. God bless, guys. I will see you here next Saturday at 9 a.m. And follow me on Instagram because I share some really awesome stories there. I'm going to create soon. I feel like I'm close. Like I'm close. I'd be concerned about my fur babies if I went to jail. See, and look at how the love you have just for your fur babies. It's amazing how much love we have to give. You know what I mean? It's amazing how much love we have to give, and that's what we think about, where it's going to be. This is the fight. This is the real battle going on right now. This is the real war going on right now. This is all about God giving us free will and Satan doing everything to mind control us out of free will. Take your free will back and choose better. God bless, guys. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.